What's poppin', y'all? It looks like that iced out OVO chain wasn't enough for Akademiks, because with the new news that he's delivering in regards to Drake, this makes him look really bad. And it all ties into this Sauce Walka beef. And this is just Akademiks being fair, really, with the whole situation. But this all started when a leaked call would come out of Sauce Walka and his baby mama.
Don't say nothing about me with my baby mama or nothing, or I'ma handle y'all. It's that simple. I don't give a what the consequences is.
Why? Yeah, you handle me. You already handle me. So what the does it matter? You already put your hands on me. You already do all that already. So what the does even matter?
I got you jumped by my. I will put my hands on you though, but I didn't. You got jumped by my black. It's shit on video.
Yeah, because you had me set up. Are you proud of that? Does that make you feel good?
I will get you jumped again. I don't give a. Just like I get Drake smoked. I will get Drake car shot at. Man, you better realize who the I am. I don't give a nobody talking about.
Okay, you calm down.
No, I don't need to do nothing.
Yeah, you do.
So this call comes out, and a lot of people are looking at it like, yo, we thought Sauce Walka was player. So a little bit about Sauce Walka. Sauce Walka goes back well over 10 years. And Sauce Walka is, like, his whole thing was drip. And he had a little bit of a back and forth with Famous Dex, because Famous Dex had a song. Famous Dex is from Chicago. Sauce Walka's from Houston. Famous Dex had a song called Drip From My Walk. And Sauce Walka felt like Famous Dex took some sauce from Sauce Walka's style and the sound that he had at the time. There was a bit of influence there. You could see the similarities, but Sauce Walka was nowhere near as big as Famous Dex. So that whole thing happens. But then Sauce Walka starts to go off on Drake about the Houston situation, which is Drake's been coming to Houston for forever. He's got J. Prince family. He's been locked in with Houston for nearly 20 years, if we're being fair here. But Sauce Walka felt like he didn't show enough love, and there's been disses back and forth between them. So Sauce Walka, he would drop a remix to Back when that came out, which was 2015. He would drop Whack to Whack, dissing Drake, and Drake would take shots at him ever since, like small little sly shots. It was never really, I don't think it was ever real deal beef like it was with a Kendrick Lamar or a Pusha T, and it got like super personal. It never got dirty and violent, let's just say that, or to where it could get like that from what we've seen. Now fast forward where we're at right now. Songs come out and Sauce Walka's yelling at his baby mama, and his baby mama would go on to expose him. One of his baby mamas, Kylie, that Drake was allegedly hitting, because he's saying like, yo, I'll get Drake smoked in that call. So she posts a couple of different bank accounts and saying, mind you, doesn't he claim he's the richest in Houston? But yet this is his bank account. And you can see here, there's a couple of different balances. I think this doesn't mean anything. Number one, money is constantly flowing. Like Sauce Walka, whatever businesses he has, whatever money-making means he has, there's probably more than this. And on top of that, money's flowing in and out. Sauce Walka spends money. So he's buying cars, money's flowing. This could have been at a time of the month when money was not coming in. This doesn't really mean anything, but this doesn't look great either. So how does this tie back to Drake and Akademiks? Well, Adam22 has had his own beef with Sauce Walka, and he even said that he'd be down to run the fade with Sauce Walka.
Once I whoop his ass, which I 100% would.
You know if you call him out, he'll take that fight.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll beat his up in the backyard for free. Free 99. But one thing you gotta know, there's two things for sure that a nigga can't fuck with me. Adam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or mother 10.
He's a labubu to me.
You despicable piece of white toilet paper. I'll sell you back the woman you love. I'll sell you back your auntie, your granny. I'm the nigga that beat the black ball and came out black and balling.
Anyway, Sauce, you can get that fade with your little labubu ass. Sauce labubu.
Okay. So he was saying that he was going to fight Sauce Walka. Adam22, and this is after the Jason Love situation. He's saying like, yo, Sauce Walka's 5'8", and he's 6'3", or is he 7 inches taller? Adam is he's quite a tall guy. And I just don't think that he's got the heart to throw a punch. I think Dean the Great's like 5'3", and he's knocking Adam out cold. Adam wouldn't even have a chance against him either. With all that being said, though, it was a mention of Drake that would get Sauce Walka heated.
There'd be so many screenshots of so many different bank accounts that I did not look at any of them. But I'm like, bro, if you actually were doing good in life, you would not be texting a random person telling them how rich you are. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Mentioned Drake and G-Wagon, 150,000. He talked about the G-Wagon, so I'm just listening.
Let's just say that Drake has been giving me a little bit more information about Sauce that I might not otherwise have.
I'm trying to figure out, how did this get started?
Because when we were talking on here and we were talking about like if these rappers are going to make it as streamers.
Oh, he had 80. You said he had 80 streamers.
And he did in the screenshot that I was referring to. I actually asked ChatGPT. They said that he's averaging 200 streamers.
Last night he had 500,
viewers.
and it was 11 o'clock Houston time.
I just feel like the idea of telling everybody how rich you are while also streaming for 9 hours a day to 200 people just doesn't really jive for me. Doesn't really add up. Like I think
so. This was on the Adam and Wack show months ago. So you see, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. This was back in January, and he's talking about like, yeah, Drake mentioned this, and that, and I was like, wait, what? Number one, if Drake does talk to Adam 22. If you're talking to Adam 22, you should be assuming that you are talking to the entire world. Like, I don't think, especially if you're Drake, I don't think the idea is like, yo, this guy, yeah, he's going to know to keep this under wraps, right? Or ask me before he mentions it in public, right? Nah, I think Adam is more like whoops, my bad. I don't even think he's oh, damn, I messed up there, my fault. Accountability? Hell no. I think he's more like, oh, yeah, whoops, my bad. Okay, I won't do that again next time. He's not going to say, yo, maybe I should think of how this might affect somebody if I just go out there and say it. Like, we saw the whole house phone situation. Well, enemy of my enemy is my friend. So clearly he'd be talking to Adam 22 if he wants to keep getting at Sauce Walka, which just shows you how petty Drake is, that he's chopping it up with Adam 22. And Adam would mention Drake again, FaceTiming him.
Honestly, even when me and Drake were having our little FaceTime powwow about him last night, like Drake, it was like, yeah, I respect him. He's a hustler. He made something out of himself out of Texas, but he just got to stop popping that shit like he's something that he ain't. And I'm like, yes, exactly. It's like, it's weird that me and Drake feel like we kind of got the same exact treatment from him.
This is hilarious. He's saying, we're having me and Drake. Adam is in his 40s. Drake is in his late 30s, damn near 40. And they're having a FaceTime powwow about Sauce Walka, who they're claiming is a bum. Like, this is hilarious. But also, the Sauce Walka leaked call that I played for you guys in the beginning, according to Akademiks who spoke to Sauce Walka, this was after this podcast. So Sauce Walka is watching this podcast, and he's mad at his baby mama for pillow talking about him to Drake. So he's not mad that Drake is cracking his baby mama. He's just saying, yo, why is she? So that's why he got so angry, because he hears about this Maybach and he hears information that only his baby mama would know. And how would it get to Adam and Wack if it wasn't through Drake? So he's like, yo, these guys are pillow talking about me. That's what Sauce Walka is saying. And on top of that, Akademiks would reveal that Sauce Walka's been making bread off of Drake.
Now, remember, this is 10 years ago. So the whole lore is Sauce Walka. And Sauce Walka admits it to me. He says, I've made damn near $1 million off Drake. Now, I know, by the way, we like Drake. And by the way, Drake's a billionaire. Who gives a who he spends him? I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, does anybody think Drake's like some super pimp? Like, come on. Anyway, I will say, I guess Sauce had watched what I talked about it. And remember there was when I was on stream, I was like, oh, there's a couple of rappers and a couple of people hit me about the same girl. To his credit, I know y'all want to be like, no, you ain't send no girl at nobody. To his credit, he says, I seen when you was talking about it. I guarantee this rapper and this rapper was on your line. He said the right names. I ain't gonna lie to you. He definitely said the right names. So he knows other, like, these are like 100 M's up. We're not talking about some like rappers that just get some. He like, oh, and he exposed some football player. So he basically says, yo, here's the reality. Drake has spent a ton of money on a bunch of women. We like some of the same type of women. They're from Houston. They're all down to the game. They're all gonna go with Drake. And when they with a pimp like me, they're gonna bring back some of the money and I'm getting that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's his premise. Okay? That's his premise. So he says when Drake would diss him, he wouldn't say nothing, right? Like on Walking Like a Talking, because he claims, he said, yo, why would I say something and fuck up the bread? He's like, this guy's getting me paid. He literally said he felt he made $1 million off Drake. You get what I'm saying? Whatever. So let me listen. I've listened to this song a long time. So,
And then later on, he would reveal who the NFL player he was talking about that Sauce Walka mentioned as well.
I'm still hood. Everything come from school in the 6'3".
I went back in the older day side. I said, man, he
He's
said,
long.
plus and got
So I don't know if you want to drive over here. We about coop shop.
I see.
Whatever.
chat. Oh, this is. I'm quitting. I'm quitting broadcasting. I want to get into pimping. I want to get into pimping. I want to get into pimping now. I want to get into pimping. Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up.
This ruins the music for me. Because we're finding out that Drake is beefing with Sauce Walka, has spent over $1 million with Sauce Walka. And keep in mind, this is the best source we could possibly get this information from, because who is more biased towards Drake than an Akademiks, right? If Sauce Walka was giving this to somebody else, people would be like, nah, you know, the Drake stands, they would be like, nah, you know, he would never, that's not true. That can't be true. Well, here we have it from the source and from Sauce Walka, and Sauce Walka providing evidence that he hit Stephon Diggs over the head with, like, we saw him with that chick. And on top of that, Drake is going to his city to try to get his girls. So the guy that's up 9 figures, maybe even $1 billion, 10 figures, he has to come to Houston and get gritty with the baby mamas that this supposed dusty guy, according to Adam 22, or like broke guy, has already impregnated and is constantly hanging out with and making money off of. That's the biggest player move ever by Sauce Walka, and that's Sauce Walka's identity. Sauce Walka is like, yo, I'm player, I'm pimping, I'm getting money off of these chicks. They're giving me money back. They're on OF. They're doing all this other stuff. So that aligns with who Sauce Walka wants us to see him as. There's alignment there. But with Drake, I'm looking at this like, yo, the music sucks now. I'm listening to Iceman. It's getting ruined for me, certain songs, when these things are explained, because, you know, like one of the lines that is just so memorable to me, I think it was from Her Loss by Drake, where he's like, you ain't a model if you ain't been in Vogue. And I'm just like, Drake's not interested in any model. And he's like, yo, I got Wilhelmina Covers, which is a huge modeling agency. Drake doesn't like any of these chicks. So we got Drake LARPing on track, pretending to like women that he doesn't. Like, we're looking at the baby mamas of Sauce Walka, these Houston chicks. These chicks they're like those oxes that they've given human growth hormone to, or trenbolone to, and they're just like built completely different. They're not supposed to be built. Human beings are not supposed to be built like that. Thick as all hell, quote unquote thick. They're really obese, but they've just pumped the fat into the right places so the proportions are still there. And Drake is talking about, like, super pause on this, but you're thinking like, okay, you know, he's rapping Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid. He doesn't like any of these chicks. That's like The Weeknd. You see The Weeknd with those types of girls. And it's funny because those types of girls love Drake, but he doesn't even want them. He's like, nah, get the hell away. But he's rapping like he messes with those chicks. He's talking, you ain't been in Vogue. None of these chicks have been in Vogue. None of these girls have been past an Instagram Explore page that he's going after. And not only is he going after these girls, he's paying their rent. So there's this whole thing with the Maybach. So when WAC 100 was talking about a Maybach, it was a Maybach that Drake had bought for one of Sauce Walka's baby mamas. And Sauce Walka would use the Maybach in a music video.
Same clothes? Same clothes, right? Yup. Same clothes, right? Same clothes. Now he says if you look in there, you're gonna see, oh, that's the Maybach. That's the Maybach truck. He says it's a great Maybach truck. He's with their kid. That's the Maybach truck, yeah. So he says he takes the truck, like basically that's him kind of like almost like letting Drake know, like, I don't give a fuck you my baby moms and bought her a Maybach. That's in my video now. What the fuck you think? That's what he's claiming, right? So this is his cyber truck. And then, yes, this is the Maybach. Yep, right here. So, yeah, so he said she didn't want to be in the video, but
So there was some other story that Akademiks tells where Drake would call in to one of the strip clubs or clubs that this girl works at, and after seeing the music video that Sauce Walka posted and the IG video using the Maybach, that he gets it repoed from the girl. Like, he has the people at the club take the Maybach away. And this is, I feel like Kendrick has to get a W for this somehow, because what the hell is going on, dog? You have Drake watching Sauce Walka music videos, spotting a Maybach because he has some sort of a beef with Sauce Walka, but he still wants to crack Sauce Walka's baby mamas, but he's still giving money to Sauce Walka's baby mamas in terms of, he bought that Maybach entirely. It wasn't like a situation where, even for Quavo, when he was with his Saweetie at the time, he was making payments on the Bentley that he got her, and he repoed that Bentley himself. So he had the name on it. They're saying that Drake gets the pink slips, so he's buying these cars outright in cash, and that's not the only girl that got a car, but a Maybach was one of the vehicles. So Drake is at the, quote, embassy, the coolest rapper, and this guy's writing bars and talking about and watching Sauce Walka's every move. And this is where, like, Adam tries to call Sauce Walka broke. This is the whole thing with Adam 22. If Adam 22 doesn't like somebody, they're suddenly a failure. Like, he's talking about, like, oh, Sauce Walka's music career is like a failure. Sauce Walka had a successful music career. He just parlayed that into something else. And Sauce Walka still got like 1.1 million monthly listeners. 10 years after, keep in mind. Like Famous Dex for sure has more because of songs like Japan. Famous Dex has 1.9, which is not that much more than Sauce Walka. Like, it's almost double, but Sauce Walka, and this is the thing, like Adam 22, if he really doesn't like someone, their numbers are fake. But he's talking about, like, why does Sauce Walka stream in front of all the a couple of people if he has all this money? Well, I just think or it's like, why does Adam 22 still do the podcast when he has enough money to quit? I think Sauce Walka just likes attention, and he wants to be known as that guy. So getting attention by any means and being in front of people and getting feedback from them, that gets his lights up. I don't want to describe it as something sus. I was gonna say that turns him up or that turns him on, but for Sauce Walka, he loves being the center of attention. So streaming makes perfect sense, even if it's not going to make him money. So I don't think Sauce Walka is struggling. And this is the thing too. If Sauce Walka was struggling for money, we would have heard about it because he's the money guy. Like, he's the rich pimp guy. So if he's having money issues, a girl is going to expose him, which this girl tried to do, and it didn't really work out too hot. Somebody else is going to try to expose him, saying like, yo, Sauce Walka owes me money. He still hasn't paid me for this jewelry. We haven't seen businesses complain about Sauce Walka. It's like, for instance, with Sean Kingston, we saw him having issues for years about not paying people before the authorities came down and said, like, yo, you're scamming people. We gotta drag you and your mother to jail. So there's that with Sauce Walka. And then Akademiks gives the final tally of just a couple of these girls and how much money was involved.
Sauce baby mama got a Maybach. The guy was a Maybach truck. The other one got a Maybach car. And they're all getting their rent paid. And apparently at times, according to Sauce, his baby mama will come back 20 to 30,000 every time she go sees Drake. And they sit down. So according to him, like, he gave me a list of rappers and some of the usual suspects. Like, chat, who's the most buying? You know who we talking about. A little bit slow. You know who we talking about. Yo, he was telling me, like, yo, made money off of him. Now, if this is true, I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, you see, Drake make love songs. So, like, who cares, right? Like, he could be heartbroken. The rest of these rappers,
I'm gonna be real here. I'm upset that I had to watch this because now I'm listening to Iceman and this sounds like sucker raps. Because, yeah, you could try to defend your mans and be like, yeah, you know, Drake never said he's like a super pimp. Dude, hold on. There's a big difference between being a super pimp. I'm never paying for anything. They're going to give me money as well. Well, there's ranges. I'm never paying for anything right in the middle. And then there's on the right side, they're paying me and Sauce Walka's end, like far right. And then you've got all the way on the other end, which is I'm spending millions of dollars on gutter bunnies. That's what they are. Like, they're working at some strip club. They're getting into beef with their baby daddy, Sauce Walka. Sauce Walka, because he had to DP them, because the girl on the phone says, oh, you already got me jumped. So he got her jumped for pillow talking, but he has no problem with her going to get cracked and bringing him back money from Toronto, which, are you even allowed to transport cash amounts that big? Hey, I'm just saying. Is he bringing these chicks on private jets too? So yeah, you can't be like, nah, you know, Drake's not like a super pimp. Like, he gets into relationships like everybody else. You know, he falls in love, heartbroken, all that other stuff. No. We're not tossing that to the side. This is the biggest rapper in the game, and he's out here competing for the same thing as a supposed Sauce Walka, who she already had Sauce Walka's baby. And Sauce Walka doesn't care. That's the thing. Some people will be like, well, he's hitting his baby mama. His whole identity is, yo, I'm pimping. Yeah, I'm selling. They're for sale. You can have them. So you can't knock him for standards that he doesn't hold himself to. He's like, I don't care about these chicks as long as I'm getting paid. And if he's making money off of Drake, and Drake is so in his feelings that he's watching him, he's like, hold on, I bought this girl a Maybach, but I really hope her baby daddy's not in it. And her baby daddy's in it. So now I got to call in to get, like, this is stuff that people that are struggling in the hood are doing. Just stressing over this, like, baby mama drama. It's insane. And this circles back to me having to give A$AP Rocky a W. Like, I don't know how A$AP Rocky catches a W from this, but wouldn't you rather be in A$AP Rocky's position? You've got, I'm not saying you've got Rihanna, because everyone's like, yo, he's got Rihanna. No, not like that. But he's got a very successful woman that's not embarrassing him, that he's not getting into beef with other dudes over, although the whole Drake thing kind of is like that. She is supporting his concerts. He has his own deals. She's had several of his children, so legitimate children, not accidental children, and plans on having more of his children. And she kind of fell back on the whole thing. She's running her own business, or promotional vehicle for her business. And A$AP Rocky seems unbothered. And I don't think A$AP Rocky's ever been in a situation like Drake's, where he's paying for these chicks and beefing with some random rapper over his girl. Like, that's not happening with Rocky. But yeah, man, I'm upset. Now these songs, I'm thinking, I'm hearing the songs differently now. Now, does that make the songs any less fire? No, but it's like, I wish information could just be erased. Like, where's the Men in Black 2? Hit me with the flashlight so I didn't have to know about this. But yeah, Sauce Walka, he has to hold a fat W in this situation. He's hitting upside. And also, some of the other people that Sauce Walka allegedly is getting bread off of are not only Drake and, as we saw, Stephon Diggs. We saw evidence there, but also James Harden, because they were saying like James Harden is, because Akademiks was saying something about like, yo, the biggest trick in the NBA. So James Harden and Lil Baby maybe. So if Sauce Walka, like, he doesn't even need a legitimate business. If you've got a couple of big clients like these guys, yeah, of course. I do like, though, that Drake, even as up as he is just giving us pure raw entertainment like this. Like, this guy's doing petty beefs with Sauce Walka over him wanting a trick and then making songs about it. What other rappers devoting themselves to the game like this? Or to our entertainment like this? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.